Then I always still wait for like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Trish, aka Miss Eha, coming to you live all the way down here from Mobile, Alabama, with your, I don't know, probably like almost the 10th episode anyway of Journey with Trish. I'm excited tonight because this is our second Black Love episode, and our topic tonight is age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number episode. But before we get started, let me go ahead and give you our disclaimer, since we always do try to kind of tie this in to mental health or something medical. So if you are having any type of psychiatric or medical emergency, please reach out to your primary care provider, dial 911, or visit your ER. Nothing we say tonight is intended as medical or psychiatric advice. All right, let's get started. I got over here to my right Miss LaShondra Jackson and her very significant other, her husband, Chris Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
You guys may know the two. I happened upon them because number one, they are just hilarious. LaShondra is a TikToker, and now, Chris, do you consider yourself a TikToker too now?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Back there when them eggs was looking real iffy, they saved a few lives. But y'all still raising chickens?
We are.
Oh, yeah.
We
Oh, yeah.
are. We
Every
are
day.
absolutely.
If y'all have not followed, I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell them about yourself, and make sure you tell them how to find you on TikTok and Instagram.
Will. Good evening, everybody. My name is LaShondra Jackson. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and social media influencer, focusing on Black love, family, and homesteading. With homesteading, that means we raise chickens in our backyard and growing with goats and more. You can find me on TikTok, Black Mommy 84, and on Instagram, Black Mommy 842. Y'all come and join our chicken journey. And my husband is Christopher Jackson. I will let him introduce himself.
Hey, everybody. I'm Christopher Jackson. You can find me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, The Fit Leader. And I just get on there and I encourage people and I share whatever God gives me to share with people, just to uplift people and help them push forward. I focus mainly on men and leadership. So, join us and we'll talk some leadership stuff.
Yes. Excited to be here.
So, Chris, and we were talking about earlier, you are officially our first male friend to the show. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for showing us some love tonight.
Absolutely.
We are waiting on, we do, hopefully everything is okay with Biz and Karma. They should be hopefully on their way. And then they'll just chime in when they get here. But we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward. So, age ain't nothing but a number is our topic for tonight.
Yes.
Sorry.
Tell me how long you guys have been married.
We have been married. It was 11 years in February. February 12th made 11 years of marriage for us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now let's go backwards a little bit.
Just a little
Let's
bit.
go backwards a little bit.
Let's
So,
do it.
LaShondra, how old would you have been 11 years ago? Not when you got married, but when y'all met, how old were you?
What was I, Chris? Maybe 20, 27? Yeah.
Okay. So you were 27 when you guys started dating?
Yeah.
And Chris, how old were you?
19.
19 and 27.
Yeah.
Now that seems a little
It seems
backwards, right? Because
it's
typically when we see that, we see it all the time, but we see it the other way. Where
we see it
the
the
guy.
other way.
So tell me, first of all, tell me like how it happened, and then I want to know what the streets were saying, because y'all know the streets had to be talking.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear the streets talking. Can't you?
Oh, yeah.
What happened was we met through Facebook. At the time, I I had given up on love like completely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm taking my hands off. I don't want to be bothered. My family was going through a lot because it was during the time that my niece Starla
Okay.
was in the hospital. She was battling cancer. But we're gonna rewind it just a little bit. I was invited to a party of a mutual friend of ours.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, I'm very introverted. Let me get that out there real quick. So when I got this invite for the party, in my mind, I was like, I'm not gonna go. Well, something was like, you know what, LaShondra, it's time for you to branch out. It's time for you to step out, talk to people, and start enjoying your life. I accepted the invite and I started going through the page. I was like, I guess I better, see who on this page I probably know or I can get to know before this party so I can be a little more comfortable.
Comfortable.
And I saw his profile and I was like, okay, I saw him comment a couple of times under my friend's post. And I was like, okay, he seems like he'll be a nice guy. I had met a couple of the girls. Some of them we went to school with, some were mutual friends of ours too. And I said, he seems like a cool guy. I guess I'm just gonna, hop in the DM.
Okay.
And that's what I did. I slid in the DM and I told him who I was and I asked him if he was gonna go to the party. And he said yes. So we made plans to meet at the party, but we started talking like more and more, but it was strictly through the DM. Not one time did I ask him his age. Not one time did I ask him his age because I was like, I had no intentions to be with this person long term. I just wanted a friend for the party.
Okay.
The more we talked, the more I liked him, and he never came to the party.
You never went to the party?
I did not go. I did not go.
He did not show up for the party. I felt some type of way about it, but our conversations continued. And the more I talked to him, the more I liked him. And then I was like, I really feel a certain type of way.
And all of this is from DM conversations?
All of this is from the DM conversations.
Yeah,
we
started
eventually
talking on
took
the
it
phone,
out.
yeah.
We eventually came out the DMs and I gave him my phone number.
Now, how long was that though?
It sounds like a long time. But
Yeah, it sounds like
it was about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was about 2 weeks. It was about 2 weeks. But let me tell you, everything kind of took off fast with us.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'd known him for my whole life. And during that time, I was like, I better backtrack because things are starting to get a little serious. Let me ask him how old he is because from conversations with him, he was mature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got me. That's
Okay.
why I didn't even think it was necessary to ask him his age. I was like, I know he's at least 21.
Okay.
And I was okay with that then. But when I asked him how old he was, and he said
19.
You tell the truth. Kudos to you.
I said, do what? Because right then and there, I knew it was going to be a problem. And
Yeah.
not on my part.
Did you have any idea that she was older than you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could kind of, at first I thought that Starla was her child.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, she got a little girl, So I figured that. And in my head, I was like, she got to be in her 20s, So I knew she was older than me, but I just didn't know how much. But I was guessing probably like 25.
Okay.
So he was right.
Had you ever dated anybody older than you before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't really say date, but you fill in the blanks. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing led to the other. I had to deal with them myself on whether or not I wanted to break it off. Simply based on the age. There was nothing that he had done wrong, nothing that he said wrong, but I knew the backlash
that you were gonna get.
Oh, I knew what I couldn't even imagine what people were gonna say. I always just responded was, he's a little younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
When people would say, how old is he? Oh, he's just a little younger than me. It took a long time for me to be comfortable enough to say we're 8 years apart or I'm 27 and he's 19.
Okay, that's right. Because you said you were from Pensacola, so you weren't living over here.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's starting to come together now. Okay, so
see,
nobody knew
it.
you.
I could keep it.
Well, people did.
Some
I
people.
I was a preacher at the time, so that's how.
Oh, them preachers. Let me straighten up in my seat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, but notice he said at the time.
At the time. At the time.
At the time. So yeah, in the beginning it was a struggle. So age wasn't nothing but a number then. Because I had to figure out, I had people calling me, what did they say? I was robbing the
All
cradle,
that stuff.
all kinds of stuff like that.
like your family or just people in the
No,
community.
just
Yeah.
different people like in the community. So
Okay.
it was tough to deal with. A lot of them said it in like a joking manner, but
But you still took offense to
yeah,
it. Some.
oh yeah, absolutely.
So how long were you together before you got married?
5 months.
Y'all got married after 5
We got
months?
married in 5 months. When I tell you we wasted no time, we wanted to have a wedding.
Chris, you had money or something?
No, neither one of us did. Like
She's saying that she had.
She had the money.
We can
he was
backtrack.
he
to
was
she's
just
talking about.
literally he was just starting out.
Mhm.
Literally, he was just starting out, and people said things about that, like, what does she want with him?
Mhm.
What does he want with her? Are they
I was coming to
using
take
each
advantage
other?
of her
Mhm.
and
He
all
was
the
coming to
stuff like
take
that.
advantage of me. I was taking advantage of him. It was just
They just couldn't figure it out.
they couldn't figure it out.
Mhm.
Was I with child? Was I pregnant? Like it was all kinds
yeah.
of stuff.
I had people who were from church I was in back during that time
Mhm.
writing me, calling me, "Is the young lady pregnant?" I'm like, "No,"
Because that's typical.
No.
When people hurry up and get married, that's generally what it is. But that was not the case with us. We
So
just
did you
loved
guys
each
have
other.
was it a church wedding or you courthouse?
My
wedding?
brother married us. It was a small, intimate wedding. Only a few people knew about it. My niece was still in the hospital.
Mhm.
She was just coming off of life support.
Okay.
And we were like, do we want to do this now or do we want to wait? And he was like, babe, we may as well go ahead and do it. We were going to go to the courthouse,
Mhm.
but my mom insisted on us doing something, intimate and small. And I'm glad that we did.
So you sound like your family was okay with online.
She was. My family was okay with it, but it was just the outsiders and the people that
That don't matter.
yeah, the people that exactly the people that don't matter that started mattering. What they said
Mhm.
started making a difference.
Mhm.
And even after we got married, I was questioning. I was like, "Is this right? Did we go too fast? Or do you think you were too
She
young?
tried
Like,
to
am I
break up
too?
with me
Yeah, I
several
tried to.
times.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not let her go.
Yep. Yeah.
She tried it.
But
And you felt that way solely based on what people were.
yep. That's it. Like
Mhm.
because my mind was already like, okay, yeah, I can deal with him being, 19 and me being 27. But then when people started slowly finding out, it kind
Not
of
only
became like embarrassing.
You were embarrassed of it?
I was embarrassed because they thought that we had a plot. They thought that we had cruel intentions for one another, and I did not like that.
And it's weird that they just probably couldn't figure out which one it was.
They couldn't
either.
figure it out. It looked, and here we are 11 years later. So I guess now everybody was like, "Oh, they really
y'all
did.
can relax now.
Yeah.
Oh, they really did love each other. They really did." But the thing about Chris, he was very mature
Mhm.
for 19. You never would have known it. By talking to him, you would have thought he was 27 or probably even older than me. He was very mature, and I had fallen in love. There was no going back.
Mhm.
No matter what people said, as much as it hurt me, there was no going back.
Okay. That's a story right there. I'm so glad y'all came to share it first right here on Journey with Trish.
Thank you.
Did you guys like, comment, follow, and share if you haven't? Please make sure that you do. So tell me, like, going in that 8 years, because now obviously you were already mature, she said, Chris, and obviously you're even more mature now. But like as far as parenting with the age, like it hasn't caused any problems at all whatsoever.
No, I think because we tried to talk about everything. Like recently we did the whole gentle parenting thing. So we talked about it. Like, okay, we're gonna try not to raise our voice.
Mm-hmm.
little to no spanking, for we did that for at least 2 years, but we decided that, so that's how it's always been. It's like, hey, we're going to talk about everything concerning
everything.
each child because we have a boy and a girl, and it's like, hey, I know certain things I'm going to have to do concerning him and her, and vice versa. They're going to have that balance. So
Yeah.
it was like, it's not a one way fits all. It's like, we're going to figure this thing out. How are we going to do this the best way?
And with going into parenting, with me being older and him being younger, it seems like we're still on like the same page, on one accord, because he was raised by a single mom. I had both parents. And I even thought, I was like, okay, our parenting skills are gonna be an issue. That's what I thought. But even that wasn't. It just seems like we were in sync. I don't think we had a moment where we really could define a age difference. And this is a funny story. We really just talked about this today because we were talking about going back to New Orleans. Well, after we got married, we decided to take a little trip. We went to New Orleans. Now, mind you, here I'm 27, he's 19.
Oh, so you can't even
We're
do
in New
every.
Orleans. Wait a minute.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's go. We're gonna grab something to eat, and we're just gonna go here to the casino Harris, right? I'm used to the casino where you can go in, like you can go in, but you can't drink or you can't gamble or whatever, right? That's what I was used to. So I'm walking happy, got my new husband with me. We're excited, holding hands. This is date night. We get all dressed up, and they say, "Can we see your IDs?" We take out our IDs, and they turn to Chris and they say, "You can't come in
Because you weren't old enough to go
And
with your
he's-
wife.
And I said, "I'm sorry." Say what?
I was sick.
They said he can't come in, and I said, "Why not? I'm over 21." And they said, "But he's not." They said he's 19, and I said, "Okay, that's fine," But I could tell he was so embarrassed. Like, he was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "This is not your fault," but I blame myself because
You really weren't thinking about this?
I wasn't even thinking about it, but he felt so bad. That is the only time that age really did play a factor in it, because I was like, "Oh, dang, we can't really do the
You had
things
to
that
wait
we
until
want to
you
do."
turned
Yeah.
21.
And when we never redid that trip,
So you haven't been
Not
back to New
without-
Orleans since?
Well, not without the kids.
not without the kids or anything.
Oh, well, yes,
So
time.
yeah,
Just walk up in Harris like
that's
what?
right. That's
Yeah.
right. But that's the only time that it made a difference, to both of us, because he felt bad on his part, because he felt like he was making me miss out on something that I really wanted to do, and then I felt bad on his part because I know it kind of embarrassed him, and he kind of felt like he messed up the whole trip.
That trip was a bust all the way around. That
But
trip was a
yeah,
bust.
I feel like
So other
that
than
was the
that,
only
it's
time. That was the only time,
That's the
like,
only
we
time.
sync. It is just a number, but the person has to be mature.
yeah, because a lot of times when we think of 19, I'm still thinking of playing, and well, I mean, older guys play video games too, but
like video
just
games
solely,
is life.
solely,
Yes.
playing video games and not working, chip bags
Yeah.
all over the floor. I'm just not thinking about being very responsible. So kudos to you that you were responsible. Now, but now what about if baby boy comes home? What's your baby's name? Chance. What about at 19 years old, Chance comes home with a 27-year-old woman?
I think that we've discussed this, haven't we? I think that because right now Chance is like 9, but he's definitely his dad through and through, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
We've already talked about it, and as long as the young lady as long as she's like me and has herself together, you see what I'm saying? As
Okay.
long as there's no cruel intention, because even with Chris's mom, if I can't really say, not unless she told Chris. I can't really say that she thought that I had cruel intentions for her only son, her only child.
Okay.
You know, um, she 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 didn't say it to me. If she said it to him, then
She never said it.
Mhm.
but it's a different story when you think that there there there's something
Trying
behind.
to take advantage.
Yeah, she's trying to
Mhm.
take advantage. Now, if I know that she's not, or if she doesn't come across as being that type, then I'm okay with it. What about you, babe?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Now, how old is your baby girl?
She's 5, just turned
Five
5.
going on 25.
5 going on 25. Now, what about at 19 if she comes home with a 27-year-old man?
Phew.
I mean, my thing is this. She'll tell you. My thing is we raise our children off principles. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, both of our children are going to be very well equipped. Now, what they do with it is up to them. So, she comes home with that. We're gonna have a conversation and make sure. And I want to meet him because to me it's different because I'm raising my son to take care of a woman, but it's different when you're giving your daughter away for a man to take care of her.
Mhm.
So I need to know that he can take care of my daughter in the same way that I've taken care of her and her mother. And can we keep it in line with what she's
his
seen all her
plans,
life?
yeah.
So it's going to be
Yeah.
a different conversation because
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking at him like, son, you know what to do.
Because
I've
I've
taught you
trained.
what to
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
But
I can
do
understand
I
that.
know? Do you know what to do with my daughter? You know
Yeah.
what I'm
'Cause
saying?
I
Do
didn't
have
raise
those-
you to be a
man.
So do you have those principles to handle? Because she's gonna come as a woman. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because she's gonna make sure, and I'm gonna make sure.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be for me. That's gonna be the conversation
Mhm.
because I know she's gonna be ready to at least have the guidance to be right. But I need to know, bruh, can do what he needs to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I gotta say that makes a lot of sense to me, because when I was younger I did date. Dated older guys. Um, I didn't date it because I didn't date older guys though because I was wanting to marry them. I can tell you that I was when I was 8. No, I was being taken advantage of. It just is what it is. Um, and so, and I'm sure my oldest daughter wouldn't mind me disclosing that she, has always been attracted to older guys. And so I guess that since when I was because when I was younger, the older guys that I talked to, I knew that they were taking advantage of me. I automatically believed that every older guy that she,
Yeah.
would get involved with. And
Yeah.
I can't even tell you that I think any differently right now. So it is a big difference a lot of times when it's a guy
Yeah.
versus a girl and the other way
Yeah.
around. But my thing is, at what age is it okay? Because like when I made the post, we talked about when you're in the state of Alabama, at least it was before, it's a 3-year age difference.
Mhm, mhm.
So at what age does it become okay for you to date more than 3 years older? Then is it just solely based on what the law says, or I guess like what you said is going to be solely based on the maturity level?
For me, I wanted to keep it. I wanted to keep it with what the law said, but
I mean,
my-
y'all were grown
my
already.
yeah my even so, as I was like 8 years is a lot. So I was like, does it sound bad? Because I started going back in my mind. You know how you do the math. Oh, when he was in whatever grade, I was this old. Just trying to talk myself out of love,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Trying to talk myself out of it, but I was too far in. I knew that this person was for me. It
Mhm.
was like whatever he was, I was, and whatever I was, he was, and there was no going back. I would say probably at 19, don't you?
Well,
19, maybe 19 to 21, because anything else is like,
So you mean like 19? That would be the age where it doesn't.
Yeah.
So if you're
Yeah.
19, you can date somebody
Yeah.
that's 56, and it's okay.
I mean, if you
It don't matter how they are, as long as you're 19 and they 72, y'all
look,
good.
I can't. Well,
It just
72,
depends on-
but 72 now.
Depends on
You-
your goals.
Yeah,
to me,
and your vision,
Yeah.
like what are your plans for that person?
Right.
Like, where do you see yourself with this person? why do you want to be with this person?
Mm.
Those are all things that I had to ask myself
And
at
what made you so
27.
mature at 19? Like, what? How did you know at 19 you were already ready to settle down? And
I can't say that I was ready. I just know I wanted to.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Because I thought I was ready, and then now looking back, after being married 11 years, I'll be 31 on the 31st. It's like, dude, you were not ready.
oh, good. That's what I want to hear about. So
Mhm.
tell me why now at 31 you're saying you weren't ready.
Even though I was mature, because I feel like you can have a level of maturity here, but then not have the skill and wisdom to actually carry it out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a person who has dreams and goals and visions. Like, you can have a great vision, but it takes time to acquire the assets and the resources to be able to execute a vision. And so at the end of the day, I did not have the keys necessary to say, I'm going to, because I didn't fathom it all. It was like, okay, I'm 19, but I'm going from not even taking care of myself to now being responsible for myself and then another human being. And then right after that, a year after we've been married, then we had our first child. So within 2 years, I went from being a boy to somebody's husband and father, like that. And it was like, whoa, so now looking back, I definitely needed more information and more learning, and just more consciousness and awareness. That would say, for me, that says that, I know I wasn't ready, even though I had the desire to. I had the right desire, just wasn't ready, hadn't been trained and equipped to be somebody's husband and father. Because shoot, I didn't know who I was as a man yet. I'm just within the last 2 to 3 years, and she'll tell you, I'm just discovering who I am as a
Listen,
man.
I just found out like 2 years ago. And I'm going,
Me too.
Right.
I'll tell
Me
anybody that
too.
any day. So it's not, and I respect that. It's not that you don't feel like you were ready for a LaShondra. You admit that you were probably not totally ready to be
A man.
a man
ill-equipped
and
to
the
be a
best
man.
husband that you
Right.
could be, sir. Okay.
So if I can't be a good man, I'm not going to be a good husband. And if I'm not a good man, I'm not going to be a good husband and a father. So I have to start at the base level. I was born to be a man. I had to learn how to be a husband and a father. So I have to first discover myself before I can put on different hats and different titles, and different levels of leadership. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
This
it
is
was.
good stuff, y'all. I don't know who's listening out there, but this is really, really, really,
It is.
really good stuff. I share with you guys all the time that Chris and I have actually been married 2 times. And one of the reasons why we did end up getting divorced the first time, well, we've been divorced one time, but anyway, the reason why we got divorced is because we were both. Not only was he not truly ready to be a man, a dad, a husband, I also was not. And so it took that separation and us getting ourselves together individually.
Yeah, that's good.
We
That's
had to
good.
get ourselves together individually. And then when we came back together, we were ready to be better people, better parents, and better partners. So
That's such a good
anybody
one.
out there who is going through something, if you're young and on the
That's right.
fence, you're not sure, which way to go or who to turn to, sometimes it's best to just start with you. Get
That's right.
yourself
That's
where you
right.
need to be first, because when you aren't where you need to
That's
be,
right.
you
That's
do
right.
bring everything that is not like up to par with you into that relationship, and
Yep.
and then into that family unit.
Yep.
So that's why we would tell everybody, take some take the journey.
That's right.
Take
That's
the
right.
journey to
That's
get
right.
into a better you before you go and bring. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you have something negative going on, just perhaps you're not totally
That's right.
ready, because it takes some time
It
to
does.
grow up.
Exactly, because by
does.
him being 19, me being 27, naturally I had been in and out of a few relationships. So then if there was baggage that I hadn't completely dealt with,
Mhm.
he would feel that.
Mhm.
At 19 or at 20, he would feel baggage, and that was new to him. I'm a 27-year-old woman that's been through, and here he is 19 just walking in,
Right.
Mhm.
with me, and he's
Such
done an
great.
amazing job. I mean, he didn't throw in the towel. He's still here. I think he's done an amazing job. He's saying that he wasn't equipped. And he says that a lot to me when we go back and reflect on our relationship. He says that, but I didn't see that.
And that's weird because a lot of times I have to tell my Chris the same thing. He'll get into. I hope you don't mind me saying this anyway, but he'll get into his feelings sometimes
This
where he kind of feels like he hasn't done
This is it.
as much as he should have, or is not doing as much as he could be. And I have to remind him, yes, you do. Like I don't even. It's just the weirdest thing to me
Yeah, that's
because
him.
you would think that sometimes Chris is on the outside looking in, but he's not. He's right here in
Yes,
the relationship, but he does not see all that
Yes.
that he's contributes.
Yeah.
I do not know. I mean, obviously, yes, I'm sure we would figure it out if we had to, but I don't want to.
yeah. That's
I
the
am
same
so
with us.
happy having some help, having a partner that is a help me. So
Yes,
kudos to you, Chris.
yes,
Go on and pat yourself on the back. You did a
absolutely.
good
Yes,
job.
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
did a good job.
And you said something, and I want to piggyback off of what you
Okay.
said. Another thing with the age gap is this. When we met, I was already kind of established.
Okay.
So I was making great money, and it came out by us conversating. He felt like he had to hurry up and get to where I was
I had
or
to catch up.
pass me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to catch up.
Because he was now my husband, like he was my man. He felt like he had to level up or pass me because
Well,
of the,
it wasn't the past you for me. It was this. Like as a man, you hear your wife come home because she worked retail, she worked at Verizon. So it's like
Okay.
she was coming home dog tired or just stressed out from having to deal with customers. She's not really want to deal with me. She's just like, just leave me alone. I've been around people. So when you hear your woman say that, it's like, well, shoot, I need to get you up off this job because you're not able to be my woman. You just here. You know what I'm saying? Like we just kind of going through the motion. So quite naturally, I keep saying that over and over. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to get you up off this job. Because I need the LaShondra that I was dating, like that sweet person. I need that to come back because she was putting on for the city now. You know what I'm saying? So, make sure she showed me, a different side. But then we start living together. It's like
This
shoot, we
ain't
got
fun no
married.
more.
Yeah, it's like
I don't want to play this game no more.
like we got married and like old girl turned into like I was like you kind of mean, ain't you? So I was like, hey, if this is what's making you mean, I need to get you up off of here. So my mentality was you need to figure this out quickly. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like I said before, I wasn't ready for that, but at the end of the day, I figured it out, and it wasn't the best way, but it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
So your goal was to be able to work and be able to provide for you guys financially, so she wouldn't have to work, so she
Absolutely.
could stay home and be
I
fun.
told her that before we even got married.
And now you staying home and doing exactly that, having fun.
I gave her a full
Yeah, my Chris
rundown.
ain't do that.
I gave her a full rundown the day I asked her to marry me. She'll tell you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I told her, I said, look, my goal is to take you off your job, give you the car that you want, and be in position to pay for all the bills with no issues, no problems. And she was like, okay. I said, do you want that though? She was like, sure. And she was like,
because if you want that, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think she really believed it. So she was saying yeah to something that she had really, again, like I said with myself, I didn't take it all in, and I don't think she took it all in, what it was going to mean. So as I started making plans, she's like, baby, slow down. I'm like, no, I told you I'm finna do something right now.
Yeah.
So, and she was like, well, just slow down some. And so the first thing that came, I bought her that. She wanted a Yukon or a Tahoe. But I found a Yukon, the same body style that she liked. I bought her the Yukon, and she was like, "You had to do this." I said, "I told you I was going to do this." When did you say that? When we got together, I told you I was going to do this.
But my biggest thing was because here again, I'm older. And I had been working since I was like 15. After I had my daughter, deciding to sit down and allow him to take care of me, I felt like I was giving up something that I had had for so long, like my
Her
independence,
independence.
and it was a struggle for me because I'm like,
But I mean, do you really feel like you're not independent anymore?
I
because of
don't,
that?
I
She
don't,
still feel that way.
I don't,
Mhm. She
I
still
don't.
feels that way.
It depends. It depends. Not all the time. It's much better than what it was because I don't want to go back
I
to
feel
work.
like society taught us something. I feel like society taught women to be something that God didn't design women to be.
Oh, now wait a minute now, Chris. What kind of topic we getting in that to now? Because I like to work sometimes.
See,
No,
and I
What you
did too.
mean?
I
working
do
is
too.
different than being independent.
I do too.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
no, come on now, break it down.
So just because you are an adult and you go get a job to take care of your bills as an individual does not mean that you're meant to be by yourself. The word independent means standing alone.
Oh yeah, because I don't. Yeah, I don't want that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
So
that.
society
Preach,
said
preach, preach.
women need to be independent, and it's like God didn't design you to be independent.
I receive that.
Yeah.
So
I receive that, and I say that all the time. And I don't, y'all might not like this, but I say all the time that men are a nicety, not a necessity. And when I say that in meaning, yes, I'm a smart girl, and I work. So if I had to take care of myself, I know that I could,
Right.
but I don't really want to,
Right. Exactly.
So I am not, I love to have someone open the door for me. And I
Yes.
love, I'm
Yes.
spoiled, right? And
Yes.
when I go to the airport, for me to pull my own bags is not a thing.
Right.
When I see women pulling their own bags, like your man got a bag and you got a bag, but he got two hands, I don't get it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
My
But
thing
that's
is-
just the nature
No.
of our relationship. So not saying there's anything wrong, y'all 50-50 is that's all right with y'all. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not that much into being, like you say, independent. I
Right.
do. I like
it's
having
counterproductive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like at the end of the day, here's how we work. It's like if you're packing the bags, I'm finna carry them.
Yep.
Just that simple. Like we don't both need to have two bags open, filling them up. No, you do that. I could be doing something else.
Mhm.
Like we don't both need to be. It's like both of us trying to stand in the kitchen and cook. It doesn't make sense. It's
I let
like
him
I
stand
don't
in
know.
there.
Now I do. Chris don't think that makes sense either. But I
Like
like
be in the way.
you
but
think.
not
See,
both of
in
us
my
not at the
mind,
same time.
yes, they do be in the way.
They
Yeah.
be in the
They
way.
do. Cause he,
And then he don't like to clean as he go.
well, Chris is so OCD. So yeah, he does. But like, I don't think I really know what I want, Chandra.
Hey, that look, and there's
Because
no problem with that because I be like that too. I be like,
yeah,
what?
like I want. It's like I don't want to cook anymore because nobody don't want to keep me company. I want you to cut onions while I'm stirring up the grits. But then when he's in
Yes,
there, I'm
in
like,
the
would you
way.
move out the way?
Yep.
Like we bumping into each other.
Yep.
So yeah, I get it.
Yep.
I get it. So we figure out a way to make it work. And God in heaven knows every marriage is
Ooh,
different.
Oh,
What works for your
yes.
marriage and my
Yes.
marriage, it's not the same.
It's custom made just for you.
Mhm.
You have to figure out what works and what doesn't. That's why I say just because I can be with somebody that's this much younger than me
Mhm.
doesn't mean that somebody else could. They may be like, I can't, I just can't deal with it. Me, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I mean, now, like, what's the difference? Like, at
But-
this
when we
point,
first got
but-
together, I cooked and cleaned.
Yeah.
Like for the first 3-4
Yeah.
years.
But I see it all the time. If you scroll social media, I can't think of what actor it was recently. And he was dating a younger girl, and it shocked me reading the comments that 75% of the people were like, okay. And it was like a 10-year age gap. I was shocked because used to be if you rewind and checked it back a couple years ago, it would have been unacceptable.
for a male and a female,
Yes.
not as much time.
It shocked me. It shocked me. And I don't know if it was because it was a celebrity or what, but
Because I don't know. Okay, I guess if I hear somebody that's 20 and 30, I'm a little shocked.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm still a little
Are
shocked.
you?
But now again, I told you, like my history of dating older men has been them,
I get
not
what
being
you're saying.
appropriate
Yeah.
and taking advantage of me.
Yeah.
And so I do have to take like my situation out of it. And like I didn't date older men because I didn't like younger men. I dated older men because I had been through my so much in my lifetime. I was probably more experienced
Yeah.
than some of the older
Yeah.
men. I grew up in the Bronx, and I started out when I was like 12 or 13. It was a rough life.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody, a 16 or a 17-year-old back then when I was 16 or 17-year-old, yeah. No, but I know that the older men that I, was dating they didn't mean me
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was never something that was gonna be, long. Nor
Right.
did I
Right.
want it to. I wasn't looking for somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that may be the case too with most people aren't looking for I wouldn't initially.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At 19, or well, I would expect that at 26. Because at 27,
Yeah.
I was married.
But see,
You,
but
yeah,
see,
I
like,
wasn't looking
but see, trauma,
at 27.
trauma, from past experiences. I went, I went into conversating with him with the intentions that it wasn't going to be anything serious.
It's usually the ones. I
Yep.
always said I would never date
Yep.
anybody out of Foley.
Yep.
And went and ham picked the right one right from dead in the meat heart of Foley.
Yep. I've now remembered sharing our story on my TikTok page.
That's what I wanted to ask. I want to know what kind of feedback you got when you started doing those TikToks about you guys. Their
When
age
when I
difference.
shared the post initially, it went over great. Everybody was excited that, oh, black love, I'm feeling good about it. I'm happy about it. I love sharing our story. Well, when we went viral, when you go viral, that draws attention to your page.
Mhm.
Then people start scrolling back on your old posts.
Okay.
Well, people were scrolling back to that old post and they were doing the math. And they was like, so if my math is correct, oh, literally somebody commented this and said, so if my math is correct, he was 19 um when y'all started talking and you were 27. It seems like you were grooming him. And that shook, like I got emotional,
Yeah, she
didn't
was
I?
bothered by that.
I was bothered.
why? Hold on, let me stop you. Because why? Why? I want you to tell me if that is not what we do every single day.
I was.
We groom each other. I feel like you
But you
absolutely,
right.
yeah, you
I
absolutely
didn't think about it
groom
like
our
that.
partners into being. We say we teach them how to love us. We teach them how to talk to us. We are grooming you into be the partner that we want them to be.
Now
for
you
us.
said a mouthful just
because
then.
that's what we're doing.
You are absolutely.
Mhm.
I didn't think about it that way. I
think,
let that affect me
I think it bothers you
emotionally.
differently. I think because it's different to say we're together and now I'm grooming you, but I think it's different to say, oh, I'm finna pick him out and mold him like this because this is it make it seem kind of nasty, like, oh, I'm gonna form him up because I want it this way because the rest of these fools ain't this, and this. So give it a different context.
I
than
like
saying,
what you said.
Yeah,
"Now we
and listen,
together,"
because we think
I
about
like
what our
that.
grandmothers used to tell us. If they ain't got no teeth, you can buy him some teeth.
Yes,
Dress him
like
up.
that. I like that.
This is what we people do. I think that so many times there are so many people out there who do have potential
Yep.
to be great husbands, great wives. And what they do need is some grooming because maybe they didn't come up in the best
Yeah,
household.
that's
You know?
good. I like that.
Maybe they didn't have a good father figure or even a good mother figure. If they didn't
That's
have a
right.
father that was showing them how to treat a mom, then how did they really know how their mom was supposed to be treated?
That's the truth.
So it
That's
is
the truth.
great. I
That
think
is the
we
truth.
take
It's
we
very
use
true.
take these words, and because of these particular words, we just get so defensive with.
And
Grooming is what
I
you do.
definitely did. Like he was like, "Babe, just calm down, just ignore." And I was like,
Because you
"Why
know
would
you
she say
didn't
that about me?"
do it nastily.
Yeah,
You
she
know.
was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Why would she say that?" You because I know that there was not a little bit of cruel intentions. So when I read that, it was like one person saying it was like 50 people saying it. You
Mhm.
know, it just took me back and I was like, what in the world? Like, why are you saying that? And I guess the person felt like, it was of course out of line because when I
Mhm.
went back to respond, they had deleted the
Deleted it.
mhm.
I think that we do, and the biggest thing is you do have to be comfortable enough in your own skin and with
Mhm.
what you
Oh,
did and
absolutely.
your decisions to not let other people and what they say come back. This many years
Absolutely.
later,
Absolutely.
and question what you did. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I let somebody say. We say it all the time. Oh, ain't no way somebody gonna come in here and take this man, not after I got him
Mhm.
exactly
Yes,
like
ma'am.
I want
Yes,
him to be.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That is
Yes,
grooming.
ma'am.
I sure
That's
did
right.
groomed him into exactly what I wanted him to be,
I
and we
like
ain't but
that.
2 years different,
I
3 years
like that.
different.
I
So
like
yeah,
that.
don't worry about that. She probably thought about it. She groomed hers too, sis.
Yeah,
She did,
right. Because I was like, why would
and
she
they
say
groom
that about
us.
me? Yeah.
They groom us too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I love it.
They
Absolutely.
I
groom
love
us
it.
too.
I love it.
This was a really, really
It
good time.
was.
I
I
enjoyed
loved it.
this.
I did too.
Okay.
It's definitely um up to the person
Hmm.
and what they can handle.
Mhm.
Um
So the thing is, and Chris, I think the points that you made when you
yeah.
talked about um, us as parents teaching our children, teaching our sons, how they should treat women and how they should be treated, and our daughters the same, will make us more trusting of our
Yeah.
children. Not so much that we're trusting of the other person
Right.
because we didn't
Right,
raise them.
right.
So I think that's it, y'all. I think that's the take home tonight is to you say that one more time because I can't even say it like you said it.
um, just teaching your children principles. Teaching
Yeah.
your children principles and making sure you train your son how to be a real man. So when he does bring home a woman, he's made a good choice. And teaching
Yeah.
your daughter how to be a great woman. So the man that she said yes to come and show me, that I can at least trust that, hey, you looked at this with your eyes wide
Yes.
open.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me raising my kids.
That's right.
That is. Oh, you want to add anything, Lashandra?
No, just beside the point of don't let what others say influence you. If you know and you feel in your heart that that person is the right person for you, you have to hold on to what you believe in. Don't let what anybody says negatively affect you.
Okay. I think I like the idea of um now thinking about it now because and I don't I'm trying to say this without being offensive, but men typically like get a little tired a little sooner
Mhm,
than
mhm,
women, and so now yours is a little bit younger, so you
mhm,
got a few more years to be
mhm,
together, and a little more stamina.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So it all should just work out
Yes.
in the wash. That is
There we go.
it. That, yeah, like I listen, I don't have no problem with it. Now
That's
I do
right.
have, girls, three of them. Now if Treasure comes in the house with somebody that's 27 to 30, we're gonna have to talk and stuff. I ain't there yet. But you guys have been very, very enlightening
Thank you.
tonight. So
We've
I
enjoyed
appreciate you
this. We've
coming
Thank you.
enjoyed
Thank you.
comment on.
this.
Have everybody make sure you like, follow, comment, share
Yes.
here, but
Yes.
also please do the same for go ahead and tell them who you are again.
Black Mommy 84 on TikTok and
Spell mommy
Instagram.
for them.
Black Mommy MOMMEE 84. And Chris
The fit
is
leader. The fit leader. Underscore the fit leader on
yes.
Instagram and TikTok.
They
This has been so fun.
really, really hilarious. If you guys, I'll send my cousin one of Lashandra's TikToks all the way in New York, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I already saw that." So when I tell you she is hilarious, the chickens,
Thank y'all.
the chickens, not with the chickens, like y'all are just
Yes.
hilarious
Thank y'all.
in general. So yeah, go ahead and follow them. Just a reminder, I do not have the flyer for next week. I am so super duper 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 excited. Next week, our what happened, girl, what's wrong with your hair episode is what we're doing next week. And we are bringing in Danielle Thickpen, and we also have Regina Doyle that are going to be coming. And then we have Kanika Davis, who's going to come in as a client. So, ladies, next Tuesday night at 7 p.m., Tech was asking me a minute ago about my hair, and I was telling him again about how I got mad with my stylist and cut all of my hair off. And he said, "So you did that to make her mad? How did that work out for you?" Come back next. It's gonna, the whole hairstylist and this new generation of hairstylists versus the old generation of hairstylists, and how we can just come together and encourage everybody, whoever you are, to live in your purpose.
Yes.
I am so an advocate for women, and I know that if your hair don't look good, you don't feel good. And so people that do have these talents that I believe they are sitting on, they could use a whole lot more as far as working in their purpose.
Awesome.
And blessing people. So come back next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for our Girl, What Happened to Your Hair episode. Okay? And if you haven't already bought your tickets to the Tea to Turk event, which is our charity event for Health Assist Out and Fashion Show on June 17th at Civic Center in Daphne, please go ahead and head over to www.healthassisterout.com and get your tickets. We have some real good singing that's going to be going on, and some encouraging and some motivating. And, we're going to get turned. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you that we are not. We are going to celebrate each other, and we going to turn up as well. So get your tickets. Please don't wait till the last minute to get your tickets. We got some awesome, how you say it? The people, the sponsors this year as well. So thanks to all our sponsors that are going to be joining us this year at the tea. Anyway, that is it.
Yes.
That was very, very good. DJ Tech, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are looking for a podcast studio. Reach out to DJ Tech at Tech's Equipment Rental. Also, Uplights and DJ, everything you could ever. He is the ultimate wedding DJ. Let's just start there. So just let me get my dates booked up, and then y'all go ahead and just but he already probably booked up for 5 years ahead. But anyway, go ahead and book DJ Tech and come on over, or call them, or reach out to see whatever kind of equipment that you guys need. That's it. It's been quite a good show.
Yes.
I guess you gonna take us out in prayer?
We're good. Go ahead.
Whichever one that you want to pray us on now.
Come on, babe.
Okay. All right. Lord, we thank you for another day. We thank you for the time that you've given us here just to learn and understand the things that you created, the relationships that you brought together, and how they are supposed to work, Lord. We just ask you to give each and every last person that's listening the strength that they need to continue to push forward in their marriages, in their relationships, so that they can have a marriage and a relationship that resembles what you designed and how you want it to be, but customize it that it works for both of them. In the name of Jesus, we declare it is so. Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. I will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Thank you. We love you. God bless y'all, and good night.